All right, guys, happy Wednesday, March 13th. Coming to you excited, coming to you happy, coming to you with a full head of steam this morning. I'm looking forward to celebrating some of your accomplishments. We have our Hustlers Lunch. For the people that are on the team that don't know what that is, all you have to do is track in home. And every single quarter, we look at, actually, we do this 6 times throughout the year. We look at who are the top in a few categories, and we take you guys to a cool culinary experience. Today, we're going to a place called Hankook. It is a Korean experience in the beautiful city of Oakland. So stoked for the people on this call that are tracking at a very high level, because we know that's going to result into production. So let's get right into the conversation for today. I got some thoughts, I got some things lined up for you guys, but as always, in true fast form, I'm going to have somebody bring us out on the field. But before we do so, we've got a couple of guests on the line today. Misty, say a quick hello. I don't have to have you talk, get on the mic or anything. Just give us a quick wave, Misty. Misty's dialing in from Misty. Can you hear me? Misty, can you hear me? I don't know if Misty can hear us, but anyways, hi, Misty,
Yes, I
and
can hear
hi
you. I just
to
don't know
all
how
of our
to.
other guests. It's all good. Just give me one of these. Give me one of these. Misty, give me a wave. Okay, all right, we're going to move on. Hello, Misty, and welcome to Keep It Moving Group Coaching. This is an environment where we speak openly, we share our thoughts, opinions, and we really harness the power of the collective wisdom. So I'm excited for you to be here and for all of our other guests to be on the line today. So let's go ahead and get rolling right into the conversation. Blessing, I'm actually going to have you bring us out on the field today on this beautiful Wednesday morning. So, Blessing, without further ado, grab the mic, tell the people what's on your mind, and let's go.
Oh, good morning, beautiful people. It is a fabulous day to have a fabulous day. And it's just, yes, the business can be a little rough and we can get into our own minds. But as easy as it is to flip a light switch, we can have a different path. You just choose to show up, you choose to be the light in your own day, and don't dwell on the negative. Focus on where you're going. And if you focus on how you're showing up, I promise the results will show up. Just be you and don't negotiate. Just be who you are every single day and be consistent. The results will come.
Did you say choose to be your own light? Did I hear that correctly?
Choose to be your own light.
Wow. God, I've never heard that before. I absolutely love that. So, Blessing, thank you for always setting the tone, setting the sentiment. So, you guys, we're going to get right into this. But before I do, I just want to get some involvement from you. If I can, I'm going to throw this up on the screen. If you are on your computer, I will drop the link. So hang tight really quick. I'm going to copy the link. All right. So let me share my screen in just a moment here, and I'm going to need you guys to play along with me. If you're on your phone, it will make it a little bit more challenging because you're not able to scan this. So let me just put this in here. Boom. Here's a link. And then on my screen, I'm going to share a QR code. So if you are on the computer watching this, go ahead and grab that QR code or just hit the link in the chat below. And we're going to have a little bit of fun. I just want to start this conversation out with full engagement and get you guys involved in the conversation. All right. So you should have the QR code. You obviously have the link. It's down below. And we're going to get right into this. And so here's what we're going to do. I have a couple questions for you guys. I want you guys to be honest with me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to present this. And through the link down below or the QR code, it's going to allow you to enter Mentimeter. Now, this is like a Slido. This is a way for us to just get super engaged, have some fun with this. And so what I'd like to ask you guys first and foremost, when you look at this chapter of your business and where you're at, obviously seasons change, things that are happening, you're growing, you're evolving. Maybe you're at a standstill. Maybe you're having some breakthroughs. I don't know what they are, but I'd love to see what your responses to this question is. Name the chapter of your business that you're currently in right now. So awesome. I see prolific. I know exactly who wrote that. I don't even have to know who wrote that to know who wrote that. Let's say momentum, pre-bamboo season. Okay, I want to know who wrote that because I love what's beneath that. Resilience, momentum, growth, execution. Let's see, prolific, grind. All right, anybody else have anything else they want to share? And please get involved in the conversation. Let's see, what else? We planting seeds. Okay, cool. Hardcore. All right, I love that. I love that. So, all right, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. I'm gonna actually take a couple of these down right now. Free bamboo. I love this. Remission. Okay. Prolific. Hardcore. I want to take that one down. I love this. And all right, cool. So as these are on the screen, as you guys are filling in your responses right now, I think Blessing, are you the one that put free bamboo? All right, so tell us a little bit about what's behind that pre-bamboo if people don't know how long it takes to grow a bamboo tree, so on and so forth. So share with us your sentiment and what you meant by writing that.
Yeah, so I came across a couple of videos that talked about how bamboo can be planted and be underground for anywhere from 2 to 5 years and like never sprout. And literally, the moment it sprouts, it can grow 2 inches in an hour. So, something that you never saw for 2.5 years, even though you were dedicated and watering it in a matter, you never saw it, and in a matter of 2 days can be taller than the average teenager. And I just feel like right now is that like I'm planting, like I feel the vigor, like literally can just feel like I'm in the right place and everything I'm doing is just about to pop. So I'm just focused on doing the right activities. And I know, like I know it's coming. So I just have to stay focused.
Well, and it is coming, and you just recently got into contract, and so and now you're laying the foundation for even more. And so I absolutely love this pre-bamboo season. Who's the person that wrote hardcore? Can you share with me what that meant and what's behind the hardcore? I want to hear from you. And don't be shy. Going once, going twice, and we're gonna move on. All right, let's hear prolific. Who was that? You, Just Bling?
Yes, it was.
All right, so tell us a little bit about prolific chapter right now in your business. What does that mean? Tell us a little bit more about what's behind that word for you.
Um, I think prolific has a few different definitions, but to me, the way that I interpret it and I use it is to give and serve in abundance of an amount. And I have been really busy with clientele behind the scenes, and I have a lot of things that are coming up in escrow, and also most importantly, I was sitting with God a couple weeks ago, and this is not, if y'all don't believe in God, that's fine. You do you. But I was sitting with him and praying with him, and God told me to come up with an event for the youth. And I was like, well, what do you mean? How do you want me to do this? And he was like, you're gonna figure it out. And I was just like, okay. And then I slept on it and woke up the next morning, and within less than 3 hours, I had an event planned with a few big faces from the Bay Area. And anyway, just things like that, being able to contribute into the community and make a difference and like really walk in purpose is something that is extremely important to me. And by doing that and just conversing with people, that has created more referrals to my business too, when that wasn't even the goal. The goal was to just serve and to give in abundance. And when you're not stuck on the outcome and you're stuck on the service and what you can provide for the world, you I don't do it because God will take care of me, but God don't play about me. And I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I love this. I love this. So you guys take a look at some of the words. Reset, chapter one, resilience, I got you, execution. What's this one? Reset, intentional, pre-bamboo season. Really, really good answers, you guys. Let's go to the next one. So I want you to rank your business right now. If you had to rank your business systems, lead generation, branding, and social media, like where are you at on the scale? Go ahead and answer this. And I want to see where you guys are at and where you feel that you're doing really, really well. And then where do you feel the biggest disconnects are in your business right now? So go ahead and give me some responses. I want to see how this scale moves up and down through the different categories. So go ahead and respond, move your lever, put your percentages, and let's get your guys' input on this one. Okay, ooh, okay, cool. Cool, let's keep them cruising. Interesting, really, really interesting. Okay. Keep them cruising, keep them cruising. Wow. All right, I'll give it 10 more seconds and then we'll kind of look at this and unpack this for a second. Wow, it's kind of shifting drastically. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Well, based on the results that we've got here, it looks like most of you, or the majority of the people feel that they have their systems in place. Now, if you don't have your systems in place, let's talk, let's work through that. Lead generation is obviously one of the most important things because I don't care how much you have your systems in place. I don't really care how much you know about the contract if you don't know how to actually go after the contract, have the conversations, close for an appointment, book for a buyer's consultation, sit in front of a seller. If you don't have that skill set, all the knowledge that you have is not going to matter because you're not actually getting in front of a consumer and putting that knowledge to work. And so I love this. I love that social media is so high. Branding fell in the last category. And I think that as time grows, you'll start to find more about yourself, your brand, your identity, and really what that looks like. And not just a logo, but what's actually behind your branding. So I appreciate you guys getting involved in that portion of the conversation. Let's go to this next one here. What do you feel most confident about in your business right now? Is it your presentation skills? Is it the way that you show up on video? Is it your systems? Is it your process? Is it your tenacity? Is it your communication skills? Is it your negotiation skills? Like, what do you feel most confident about right now? Is it your ability to obtain a new listing? Is it your buyer's presentation? Is it working with investors? Like, what do you feel that you have the most swag in your game right now? And let's hear. So communication. Okay, cool. We're going to talk about communication in just a minute. Communication. What else? My personality right now, hoping that will change more as I continue to learn and grow. Okay, cool. My buyer's consultation, my listing presentation. Wonderful. I love this. And keep them cruising, you guys. Branding, doing the hard work. Authentic empathy. Ooh, I love this. Authentic empathy. Excuse me. Phone communication. Okay. I think I know who put that one on. Let's keep cruising, you guys. Let's get a couple more. Talking to people, being relatable. I'm getting more and more confident in my ability to articulate this new language, especially the buyer's consultation. Ooh, I love this. Client guidance. Ooh, my social media videos. Really, really good stuff. So let's take a couple of these because they're all over different categories, and I love this. Who put on here my buyer's consultation? Go ahead and take yourself off of mute and let me know who put that on there. Why are you guys being shy this morning?
That was your boy.
All right, who is that? I'm not looking at the screen. All right, Darnell, why do you feel so confident about your buyer's consultation right now? What's leading to that confidence?
Man, practice. A lot of practice. I've been reading the script a lot. Since that day we had the event or the mastermind, I've been doing it without having the buyer's consult in front of me, and that's been immensely helpful.
Man, I absolutely love this. So great stuff. Who put authentic empathy and what does that mean? And tell us how that creates more confidence for you. Who put that? Please do not be shy. If you wrote something on the screen, I'm probably going to call on you. Who wrote that?
That would be me.
All right. Tell us what's behind that.
It's because in my ability to connect with people and really find out what their goal is being amplified for no other way to explain it, just because I've been practicing my buyer's consult and really listening so that whatever their situation is, they don't feel any judgment, any guilt, any pressure to have to explain where they are. It's not about where you've come from. It's where are you trying to go, and let's get you there. So that being able to connect is something that I've gotten more confident in, and it's definitely changed the way that I interact with people.
God, I absolutely love this. So you guys, I love your responses. If you're not getting involved in the conversation, let me encourage you. Let me push you. I think I got one more on here. And all right, cool. So let's see this. Understanding of the real estate market right now. You're either so-so, you're hella informed, or you need to study more. Let's see where you guys rank. I don't know why there's already some responses in there. Maybe someone jumped ahead, but need to study some more, hella informed, or so-so. Let's see where you guys are ranking in this. I'll give it like, I don't know, 20 seconds. Need to study more, hella informed. Okay, so-so. All right, good. Well, it's good to see that so-so is so, that bar is a lot smaller than the other ones. All right, need to study more is the most common. All right, cool. Cool. All right. I appreciate this, you guys, on a very high level. And let me share some thoughts with you guys. And thank you for getting involved in this conversation. I was trying to mix some things up and do things a little bit differently. But let me exit out of this and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So I read an article and I read through some of this book yesterday. And I don't know if you guys have read this, Amplify Your Influence. Now, obviously, I'm on 75 Day Hard, so I'm reading a lot more than what I normally do. And I normally read a lot. In this book, the second chapter, I was reading about Aristotle, and Aristotle wrote many, many years ago, 2000 plus years ago, he wrote about the power of persuasion. Now, let's not get this twisted. Let's not get persuasion and manipulation. Let's not get those twisted, because I think sometimes people put those in the same bucket and they're vastly different. But nonetheless, he identified critical elements, what he referred to as emotional appeals, and three of which are known as Aristotle's rhetorical triangle. It's logo, which equals to logic, pathos, which equals to emotion, and then ethos, which equals to credibility. And that's what I want to talk about right now. The other ones we can go deeper in another session, but I want to talk about your guys' credibility. And here's why this conversation is so important. We're going to talk about the market in a moment. When you think about the times ahead, when you think about all the headlines, when you think about the DOJ and how they're going to potentially change the way that buyers agents get paid, it's more crucial than ever that you are heightening your credibility, heightening your visibility, and that you are heightening your expertise in the marketplace. That when someone comes to you, when they look on your social media, when they find you on Zillow, when they find you on Yelp, no matter what, like there is a clear delineation from you versus somebody else that is not really up to that standard. You guys, there's going to be so much scrutiny and people are going to be looking at you in different ways over the next couple of years. Now, we don't know what that's going to look like for buyers agents in the future. We don't know if the buyers are going to pay the commission, if it's going to be at the table. We don't know if there is a retainer, and then that retainer is given back to the consumer because the sellers agreed to pay commission. We don't know what all that looks like right now. But those are some of the conversations that are happening behind the scenes right now. So it's important for you guys to really own this ethos. And let me share some thoughts with you. Ethos is your credibility and it's your character. Ethos is the essence of who you are and how you are known. Examples: industry knowledge, high quality marketing, your social media presence, your consistency. Those are all things that equate to your own ethos in your own respective markets. And check this out. We do not own our ethos. We don't own it. Your audience owns it. And here's what was great about this. This says in the book that they grant you credibility. And they grant you the credibility because they see how consistent you are. They see the value that you offer to consumers. They see your education. They see you as a human being. And therefore, you have now earned the respect and gained the credibility from your consumers. And I promise you, you can lose it in an instant. You can lose it in an instant. So we are in this constant struggle to grow, to give, to provide intellect about our industry because people need us. They go to us to find the information. So we have to make sure that we are owning it and in regards to the information that we're producing and that we're giving out to our consumers. That's on you guys. You guys have to make sure that no matter what happens in the industry, I could look back and be like, wow, this person has been so consistent, so much information. They have such a great understanding about the reality of the market, what's happening, nuances, patterns, what's on the market, how many days on the market, what house is sold for the most, so on and so forth. That's on you guys. And so when it comes down to credibility, you guys, you have to say, you know what? Now let me look at everything I'm doing. What is the style? What is the quality of my buyer's presentation? What's the quality of my open house flyers, my listing presentation, my video, my newsletter, my correspondence, the way I'm touching base with people, all these things, you guys, you have to own that because they grant you that credibility based on how you're showing up in the industry, you guys. So I want to share that thought with you. I want to share that sentiment with you guys. Has anybody ever read this book? Does anybody have any feedback? Does anybody want to share any thoughts or any contributions on that subject before we move forward? Feel free to take yourself off of mute, get involved in this conversation, Anybody have any feedback, thoughts, insights, or contributions on the conversation thus far?
Good morning. I joined a little later. What is the name of the book, Elias?
So this book is called Amplify Your Influence, and it's written by Renee Rodriguez.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. You got it. Any thoughts, any contributions on the conversation before we go forward? All right, so let me ask a couple questions. I'm going to go Hugo. Hugo, right now, what are some things that you do that someone else can view that you feel gives you tremendous amounts of credibility in the industry right now? Let's go, Hugo.
Yeah, I would. Good morning, coach. Good morning, everybody. I would say right now that, gives me credibility against somebody else would be my newsletter combined with the social media videos that I'm putting out there. My goal is just to put information out there, educate people, and at the same time, have something that hits your inbox and that can, be worth their read. I'm not making it a super long read. I'm making it something that I would read, So I think that's something that gives me credibility right now.
I love that. I love that. And how often does that go out?
Weekly on Thursdays.
And what is your current open rate?
Around 40 to 50%.
Is the open rate going up, going down, or is it staying right in that 40% range?
It's staying.
Okay, that's a positive thing. To be at a 40%, that means that they are granting you credibility because they're still reading it, they're still opening it, and they're not unsubscribing. So Hugo, you hit it right on, my man. I love that. Let's go to Jess Blaine. Let's get a couple other people involved in this conversation. So what are you doing right now, Jess, to own your credibility, or excuse me, to allow yourself to get granted the credibility right now in the market? Let's go.
I think there's multiple ways that you can do it. For me, it's just sharing more of the open and day-to-day, being more open with the day-to-day of real estate. I'm not afraid to say that I messed up. And so I've been recording more videos about, here's a situation that happened. Here's what could have been better. I think that there's a lot of credibility and connection that you can build because we don't have to be perfect. I think one thing that helps us establish credibility is that we're not perfect, that we are human beings and that we do want to help and we have the desire. And through actions and day to day and sharing our wins and our losses, it helps people trust you more because you don't just look like a person that's only winning, which is not real. We all go through things. We all have things that we're battling with, and we have to figure out a way to be more transparent about that. And I think that that is something that can help you really connect with people.
God, I love that. I love that. Anybody else want to share what they're doing right now to really heighten that credibility for their consumers? Is it your buyer's consult? Is it your marketing? Is it your videos? Is it your newsletter? Is it an email that you're writing? Is it a correspondence? Is it a blog that you're writing that goes on LinkedIn? Is there something that you guys feel like you're doing right now that is really, really working to heighten your credibility? Does anyone want to share? You guys are super, super shy today, so maybe I need to ask some better questions to you guys, but get involved in this conversation because this conversation is important. Let's go, Damian.
Good morning. I was just going to be an active listener over here, but just becoming a local advocate of everything so that it's apparent that I'm really out here in the area that I serve, in the community, whether it's with the volunteering or highlighting small businesses or politicians, whatever it is. I just want to be the expert on the area that I serve. So I'm talking about the East Bay all the time, and that's adding to my credibility, not only on the job as their realtor, but as, again, an expert on the area.
Yeah, and it's working for you, my man. So I love that. Let's go, Brett. You had your hand up, and then we'll shift gears in the conversation, start talking about the market. Let's go, Brett.
Yeah, I've been kind of trying to tap into a new market. My 11th year in the business, and I've sold real estate all over the Bay Area, but I'm really trying to hone in Dublin and the Tri-Valley because that's where I live now. And I think for everybody, you got to kind of lean into what you have. And so I'm leaning into like the team success. People love seeing that, oh, the #1 team in the Bay Area, like they don't know about us. But when you say that, they're in immediately interested. And so I've been putting together marketing that stands out. Sorry, we can't see this. I wonder if I could take my thing off. Basically, this is a Chipotle ad that has a bunch of words on it, but the highlighted words, you can't really see it, are our marketing is better. And then it just says fast real estate at the bottom. For another one, I've sold 3 properties in Dublin over 11 years. So I put those 3 properties on there and just says sold. And on the back, Bay's #1 real estate team. So just leaning into what you have. And when I get in front of somebody, I can go over my history, my credibility, blah, blah, blah. But just leaning into the things that you can, whether you have a buyer who's looking, you have something coming up, just taking what you have and then using that to build off of it.
Man, I love that. You know what? I'd love to get my hands on that, the word one. I like that so much, man. So great stuff. So really good examples. You guys, I got a couple articles up here that I want to share with you really quick, and let's talk about this. So first and foremost, I'm going to put this in. Here's an article about what we were talking about ethos. You guys can go here and see how this applies to everything that we're doing in advertising and how you can apply this in different techniques and what you're doing. There was an article out yesterday from Housing Wire. There's a great video. This is the president of Altos. And if you don't have your Altos account set up, make sure to set that up. If you need help with that, please reach out to me after our session. But this is a really, really good article because the headline was housing inventory could grow 40% by this year, but that does not mean that home prices will fall significantly. When you read this article, you'll see what is really cool is that inventory has been rising over the past 2 years, just as mortgage rates has. So what we thought, as an industry, and you've read multiple different things, is that as interest rates have really started to inch up, we thought that the inventory level had dropped significantly. Now, in some markets, that is applicable, but as a whole, as a real estate industry, it says inventory has been rising for the last 2 years. Rates are higher than last year, and inventory is now 21% higher than last year. What's crazy about this is that some sellers think that, or some buyers think, well, we're going to wait, things are going to change. There is no signs whatsoever of the market going down in regards to price. When interest rates go down, we know what's going to happen. There's going to be more inventory. There's going to be more people in the market. So we have to be able to look at all this information, read this, watch these videos, and be able to say, you know what, how can I put this into some information for my consumers to share with them the reality of what is actually happening right now. Just because housing inventory is growing, that doesn't mean that prices are going to fall significantly. Not going to happen. And especially in the Bay Area, when we have our hot markets, Sacramento, Bay Area, it's just not going to happen. So I want you guys to read this article. I'm going to drop this in the chat down below, and you guys can have this, keep this, make sure that you reference this. Boom. Bam, you have that. And then this one here, I'm going to share this with you as well. This is a really, really good read, and it provides different vantage points about what's going to happen with our commission over the next couple years. Here's some ideas, here's some thoughts of what could potentially happen. And so what you'll find is like, okay, let's look at this industry at a very, very high level, and let's really dissect what's going on with the DOJ and how we can start thinking about things differently and really, really working on our presentation skills, our credibility, our value proposition. So if the question ever does come up, there is no shadow of a doubt that you guys can stand on a pillar of confidence and say, you know what, I will work for X amount and I deserve X amount because of my value and because of what I offer to my consumers. So those are 2 articles that I want you guys to read, and I want you to dive into that. Feel free to share your thoughts, share your sentiment with me. Before we get into a conversation with about the market, how many of you feel that you are a really, really good communicator? Like, raise your hand if you just feel like you're a really good communicator naturally. Please raise your hand if you feel like you're a pretty good communicator. Now, raise your hand if you feel that there's just a lot of personality types that you don't mesh with and you find it really challenging to just communicate with that style of communicator. Maybe it's an analytical type, or maybe it is the amiable type. Maybe it's the person that's super, super heartfelt and you don't really communicate that way, right? So no matter where you are, I want you guys to start analyzing how well of a communicator that you are. And here's a really great way to do it. So as a leadership team, last week, we did a whole, where's mine? I think I have it here. All right. We did a whole report on each other. And what we did is we were able to look at all of our DISC profiles. Now, if you've never done the DISC profile, I'm gonna show you how to do this. And this actually came up with a conversation with Blessing and Jessica yesterday. This allows you to see exactly how you receive information. And by understanding how you receive information, it's going to break it down into 4 different quadrants. And what it allows you to do is say, you know what? How am I going to communicate with this person based on how I receive information, how I believe they receive information? The way that Karina and Molly receive information is vastly different than the way that Kenny and I communicate. And we're similar in that regard, Kenny and I. Now, we have to make sure that as a leadership team, we can communicate effectively and that we're a little bit more cautious and conscious of how someone receives information. Now, the same goes for you guys. What I want you to do is I want you to do a DISC profile on yourself. If you've never done it, I'm going to put it in here for you guys. Here is the profile or the assessment. Take the time, do this assessment, and let me know. And don't do it now. Obviously, it takes a little bit of time. But what you'll find is that you're going to find how you receive information best, the things that you might be overpowering about, or maybe you need to improve, certain areas of the way, the style, the pattern, the speech, all of these things. So it's really, really important in our journey as we're getting better in communication, better working with consumers, better overall. Start with the ways that you communicate and understanding how others communicate. And I promise you, this exercise will be really profound when you start to read through your own report and know exactly who you are, how you receive, how you retain, how you give information. It's one of the most powerful exercises. So if you haven't done that, make sure to do your DISC assessment. Let's do this. Let's go into the market, you guys. You guys are out there showing homes. You're writing offers. You guys are busy. Chris B, you did a presentation yesterday in our Sacramento office about how to get offers accepted. So I'd love to hear from you guys about what you're experiencing, what you're seeing in the market. What are some patterns? What are some things that you could put the rest of the group on game that is actually happening right now in the market? So we'd love to get an update from you about what you guys are actually seeing, experience, out there writing offers, got your live listings, what's going on. So who wants to grab the mic? Tell us a little bit about what they're experiencing, what they're seeing in the market right now. Chris, do you want to take the mic? I know that you just did a presentation yesterday. Darnell, you got your hand up. So let's go Darnell, and let's go Chris B, and let's get a couple other people involved in this conversation. Let's go Darnell.
I actually have a question about the article that we just looked at. So you're saying as the rates are raising, the inventory is raising. So for the buyers that are thinking the prices may go down or they may have an opportunity to wait, I understand how we can articulate that to them. I have a seller in mind who wants to walk away with a certain number, and I've shown them what they could get, and it's a little less than that. With this information, can I basically say you're doing exactly the right thing, waiting because the prices are not going down, so you're going to see an influx in prices?
Yeah, I think you know, and I appreciate this conversation. And feel free to jump in if you guys have something that's doing. What's their timeline? Like, what do they want to do post sale? What's that look like? What's their goals? Where are they going?
That's a good question. I haven't asked.
Yeah, because sometimes it really doesn't matter the time, as long as they could find the number that makes them happy and they can net what they want to net. At the end of the day, as long as they're going to net what they're going to net, we got to know, like, maybe there's an impending event. Maybe they want to be at a new house before the end of summer. Maybe they want to do something, downsize, whatever that is, be closer to the grandbabies. I don't know. I think like knowing what that motivation is and knowing what that timeline is and what's post sale, right? And if there was a number that they could land on in the next 2 months and they got that, would they be happy and would they be willing to put it on the market? I think there's a little bit more discovery that needs to be done there. But I love that you're having that conversation. Anybody else want to chime in on that? I know we have some veterans on the call. Anybody else want to chime in on that particular topic that Darnell just mentioned?
I would say the same thing. You got to tap into motivation, because if they don't need to sell, then let's just wait 5 more years and the houses will be worth way more, you know. But if we're trying to get somewhere by summer, should probably think about putting on the market here pretty soon.
Well, a little more context. It's not their primary residence, it's an investment property, and they just don't want to be landlords anymore. So that's the motivation in selling, and they want to just walk away with a certain number that they had in mind. So I do need to ask what their plans are post to do with that money, whether it's a savings or something for the grandkids, but definitely need more discovery there for sure.
Or tap into the headache of being a landlord. Like, what's the real, like, is it you just don't want to deal with it anymore because you could get property management that will deal with that? Or, you know, is it really something that you're just like so over these tenants? You know, tap into that headache a little bit too.
Yeah. And Darnell, what's the number that they need to net?
200.
200. So what I would do is I would do a seller net sheet. And what you do in the seller net, okay, you got the seller net sheet. And so you give them a couple of different options, right? Well, if you sold it at 500, based on what your current mortgage is, this is what you net after you pay commissions and fees, so on and so forth. And you give them a couple different categories. It's 500, 550, 600, 650, 700. So you give them a couple different options to show them what you could potentially net. And if it's clear and it matches up with their timeline, then yeah, it sounds like you should probably list your home. Let's go ahead and get started and do the marketing.
I sent them exactly that. And
Good.
what they would net and walk away with right now, they said, all right, I need 50 more than that. So I'm going to wait and see if prices do go up, if competition in the market does go up. And that's why I was kind of leaning into that article saying, this is how I'm going to follow up today, and just shoot a simple text saying, hey, just found this article and I wanted to show it to you and say that you're doing the right thing, waiting because prices are going to go up, and sooner than later we'll be able to put this on the market type deal, just to kind of reiterate that push, you know.
Yeah,
So
and I saw a couple of people take themselves off of mute, but before you send that article, here's what I would do is I would look at all the comps over the last 3 months in your market that are the 3-bedroom, 2-bath that fit that same profile, right? And I want you to analyze, what did they start out for list price and what did they end at, right? Because that 50,000 delta that they're trying to hit, you might be able to achieve that through your negotiations and going on the open market. Look at all the recent sales, and I promise you, there's probably some that were not as well done as their home. I don't know the whole situation, that were able to get $50,000 more. $50,000 more, that's an opportunity for you to negotiate. Right? If all of us have wrote offers on homes and been able to negotiate up or downwards 50 G's. 50 G's in the grand scheme of things, my man, I think that you have the skill to negotiate for that 50,000. Right?
I think defining too, is this a desire or is this a have to have? Right. And you find that through the motivation, because we all would love to make 50,000 more. But like, once you define that motivation and going through those actual figures with them, right? So let's say if they need 200,000, but they're trying to get 250, bringing them back down to, well, this is what you're trying to do. And then someone else said, like, bringing them into the headache, that can get you to the finish line, knowing what that hardcore make or break number is, not desirability, what's factual in this market. Or are you going to wait another 2 or 3 years and have to deal with still being a landlord? What makes the most sense for you, this bottom line or being a landlord against your will? And not knowing what the market will be whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. So there's 2 different things that you're dealing with. Is it the hope for gain, or is it the fear of loss? Fear of loss means, well, I have a fear of loss of my time, my effort, my energy, and having to manage that place. And sometimes that fear of loss highly outweighs that hope for gain. And so it's a little bit more discovery there, but you're on the right path. Like, this is the path that you need to be on. You just do a little bit more uncovering, using some of the things that you're hearing right now and applying. But good stuff. Let's go to Otis and let's go to Hugo. And I think I saw Blessing's hand up, but let's keep cruising. Let's go Hugo.
Yeah, I dropped it in the chat, but I was going to say, I mean, yeah, it all just falls back to the mindset of like, hey, we're here to not convince people to sell their house, but kind of like what, Jess touched on and Brett touched on, tap into their motivation and explaining the consequences of selling the property and also keeping it, So, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And then Blessing, thoughts, contributions, and then we'll go over to Otis and then go right over to Chris B.
Yeah, I was going to say for the question about what we're seeing in the market, multiple offers are back, multiple counter situations, and that could definitely be leveraged for Darnell's situation. But really understanding what the seller's expectation is. So having a true conversation with the listing agent, like the moment that your clients are interested in a property, calling that listing agent and having as much of a transparent conversation to try to get the intel to put your buyers in the right. Sorry, this card just. We're gonna pray for that person. Making sure he didn't stop. Sorry, but making sure that you have enough information to put your buyers in the best situation as possible. That's our responsibility, to pick up the phone and call that agent, call, text, email, whatever it takes to get them on the phone, to let them know that you're serious about making a deal. But there are multiple offers that are happening all across, especially in Oakland, the multifamily. There's a lot of there's a lot of inventory in that space. So we just have to make sure that we're prepared and we're educated in that particular market.
Yeah, Darnell, I'm just curious now, I appreciate your contribution, blessing. Darnell, where's this home located?
Oakland.
Okay. What neighborhood?
It's on Foothill Boulevard. I'm not sure what the neighborhood is called.
Size? So what's the square footage?
I believe it was 15 to 1700. Close
All
to
right.
17. I can pull up this, man.
2-bedroom, 1-bath, or 3-bedroom, 2-bath?
Sorry, I had a bunch of different properties in my head. It is a three, two, or 2-1, 2-1.
2-1. All right, cool. So yeah, I would, while we're on this call, start running those comps. I'm just curious. Run those comps. Let's see how many offers were on all of those homes. There might be a great opportunity for them right now, especially in Oakland, especially how hot the market is. But I love that you are this deep on this conversation with them. I think that there's something positive here. Let's go over to Chris B really quick. Chris B, obviously been in the game for 15 plus years. Like, what are you seeing right now? And I'll come right over to you, Joel, in a second. What are you seeing? What's some of the patterns, the nuances? What's getting offers accepted right now? I know that you just did a session yesterday in Sacramento, so would love to hear from your vantage point what's actually working right now. Turn it over to you.
Yeah, what Blessing said, you couldn't have said it better. Right now in this market here in Sacramento, there's low inventory. So a lot of the issues I've had is I have 3 people that are really motivated to sell their property, and I had listing consultations with them last year. The only issue is finding the correct property for them in order for them to move into. They're 3 older couples that are trying to find a forever home, and they've been in their previous homes for an eternity. So it's kind of a lot of emotions involved. So basically with this low inventory market, I was able to get 2 out of the 3 into contract on properties. Like what Blessing said, you got to really connect with the listing agents, find out what's their sellers' expectations, their wants, their motivations, and what they need to do and what terms are they requiring, so that you could provide it to them and just make it a win-win deal. Also, you got to call a lot of the sales reps and new homes everywhere, and keep connecting with these sales reps. The latest deal I got in escrow on Monday was I was just calling random sales reps. I was cleaning out. I was going through my mail. I found a folder from a sales rep, Sylvia, at a development here. I called her and I didn't know she had the actual floor plans available that my seller was looking for, and they're willing to take contingent deals right now. But she said that's probably only going to last till the spring because the market's shifting. So I took my clients there immediately, got the deposit in, and got that in, and we're getting their house ready to sell. And the second seller that I got into escrow, it was a multiple offer situation. They had 5 offers on the table right after the weekend. I actually talked to a listing agent. He worked with me in the past. He actually put 2 offers in on 2 of my listings a couple years ago that he didn't win on, which I kind of felt bad, because I was like, you didn't win on my property, but hopefully I win on yours. But he was totally cool. I met the actual seller outside of the house. I seen this guy parking outside, and I walked up to him and I was like, are you the seller? She's like, yeah, how's it going? I connected with him, told him, look out for Susie and Franco Kita. We're getting an offer to you. We'll give you all you want. It's a done deal. And he laughed about it or whatnot. So it's kind of just making sure you have the energy transfer, and then you're controlling expectations. And then when you're working with your buyers or sellers, you give them all the up options possible so you overcome their expectations up front. They're worried about taxes. Well, you don't got to worry about it. You're over 55. You got Prop 19. You know, they're worried about contingencies and moving and all this. You got to let them know and feel comfortable that we'll make the timelines. We'll get a lease back. We could make it work. If their house is free and clear, get a loan for 6 months, pay that mortgage, and then sell your house in the meanwhile and pay it off cash. So it's about controlling expectations, connecting with everybody, and just being the pro, because our job is to burden that stress for them and not have them feel it. So
Yeah.
the way I feel successful is if my clients could go through the whole process without any question marks in their head, and I'm controlling expectations, and I've already presented all the options and the what ifs, and just laid out a bright game plan for them, and I won, and I'm going to be a referral agent for their family for generations to come. So it's really a tough market right now. It's not easy. It's like me and Sophia are busting their ass. It's pretty crazy, but you know, you bust it right, you're going to make money right now because the professionals, market people, keep your head up and make it happen. All right.
Boom. I love it. I love it. Let's go over to Joel. Joel, you had a contribution. You had a hand up. What's your thoughts? And Chris, my man, fire as always. Let's go, Joel.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I just have a situation like the Darnell has. I have a seller. She wants to sell the property in San Francisco. The zip code is 94121, and this is this is a million house. So I'm trying to, get the listing, but it's been has been kind of difficult trying to talk with her because she speak Cantonese or Chinese, so I have a translator, but it's been difficult. They cannot afford the payment because they have some financial problems, so this is the main situation here. So I don't know.
So is the main situation, let me make sure that I isolate this and I understand what the main situation is. The main situation a language barrier?
Kind of.
All right. So two things here. First thing is I want to show you where this is. This is our Team Fast roster. So what you can see here by pulling this up is you can see the agents on our team that currently speak the language that you're having a challenge with this consumer. You can see quite a few of our agents speak Cantonese, right? So Sunny Wong, Peter Lee, Joey DeWong, Dewey, like there's people on the team that if you feel like you just need to bring somebody else in to get a fresh set of eyes to have clear communication in the area where you're challenged, then I highly recommend that you partner up with somebody on this. So you have access to this. This is at jointeamfast.com and you go into agent info.
Okay, got it.
All right. And then if you want to talk strategy, let's talk strategy off the call. I think that there's some opportunities here, but I think first and foremost, if there is a language barrier, let's align you with somebody that speaks that native tongue.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, cool. So you guys, obviously a lot of moving parts right now in the industry. It is our responsibility to make sure that we understand at the highest level what is actually happening in the market and that we can share the reality of the market to a consumer past the headlines, right? That's our job. That's our responsibility. And the ones that are mastering that, like a Chris B, like the people that have spoke on the call today, those are the ones that are able to, I think Chris said, like burden that stress or burden that fear, or burden that trepidation or whatever the consumer's going through. Like that's how we're going to win, right? They're going to lean on you and we have to make sure to be experts. So I thought this was a really good call. I got some really good contributions from everybody. Let's go around the room. I'm going to hear from a couple people. I'm going to go over to Misty. Misty, you are a guest of ours today. If you can give us one or two key takeaways from your time with us today, what would that be, Misty? Misty, can you hear me? There we are. There we are.
Mute.
You're good now?
I don't know how to make my thing show.
No, what I don't know what thing. Your face, we could see you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just key takeaways from our time together today.
There's a lot to know.
Give me one. You have one?
I don't really know. I'm in chapter 1 of
Okay.
this big book.
All right. Was there anything that you heard from somebody on the call today that was maybe an aha moment for you?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here nonetheless. Thanks for being on. Let's go to Ryan Fong. Ryan Fong, key takeaways from our time together today.
Yeah, in this market, I mean, we got to do what we can to deliver as much value and, you know, be a pro at connecting with our current clients, our future clients, and even all the other agents.
Totally. And really making sure we're doing everything to heighten our credibility. I love that. Let's go, Jacob Ali. Jacob Ali, key takeaways from our time together today.
You know, just be a local expert. That way, you know, you have credibility. People will trust you. People want to hear what you're saying. So you add value to their day.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to Champ. Champ, let's hear from you, Michael McIntosh. Key takeaways from our time together today.
So the bamboo story reignited something for me. It was a story that I heard a long time ago. I'm a brand new agent, trying to get my seeds in the ground. The bamboo story is you got to water it every day. You know what I mean? Like Blessing said, you know, once it pops up, it's going to go big. So I'm getting my seeds down, I'm doing my watering, and look forward to seeing it grow.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, just like a bamboo tree, sometimes it just takes a while, right? And then all of a sudden, they say within a couple of weeks of a bamboo tree actually sprouting, it can grow up to 9 feet. And that's after 5 years of watering. I'm not saying it's going to take you that long in this game, but you're watering and watering and watering. And sometimes you don't see it, but then all of a sudden your business takes off. So Michael, I appreciate that. Thanks for being on. Let's go, Christina. And then I'm going to come full circle. We're going to have Darnell close out the session and get your key takeaways. So let's go, Christina, key takeaways from our time together today.
Good morning, guys. Sorry, my hair is all over the place today.
It's mine is too. It's all right.
But I just want to say that every time I come here, but today it was so special that, you know, with this test is also like, get to know your potential. Sometimes we don't give ourselves grace. We don't allow ourselves to go beyond it. We just put our own barriers and we get stuck. So get to know you on a different level. Get to know yourself. Fall in love with yourself when it comes to your business, right? It changes your mindset. It takes you to another level. The confidence comes back to you. And I'm saying this because of me. Like when I fell in love with Christina, the businesswoman, even though I don't know how I'm going to get there, even though I don't know how to do it, it changed something inside of me. I'm doing more videos. I'm doing all this stuff. So about today, it's all about getting to know yourself on a different level than what you already are today. So
yeah, I absolutely love that. You guys, that profile is like a mirror and it allows you to say, how do I receive and how do I give information? How can I improve and how can I tweak things? And then how can I really, really like give power to the things that I do great as from a communication level. So great job, Christina. Let's go full circle. Darnell, back to you. Key takeaways from our time together today. And I'll have you kind of wrap up our session with maybe a closing remark.
Okay, right on. So of course, with you pushing out, just do a CMA real quick while we're on the call. Man, I needed that because like I said, I was in a space where I'm new to this. I don't know exactly how to follow up, right? I don't know the timeline that I'm supposed to give people when they say, hey, let me chew on this. Give me a minute. I don't want to start bothering them thereafter. So I'm just happy for the fact that I'm showing up. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm showing up. I got on this call. You told me to do that. I did that. And it seems that the assessed value is actually above the number that she would need to get that net. So I have a call to make today, and I'm really excited about that, being able to share that information with her. And to close out, I just want to say done is better than perfect. Get it done. It doesn't need to be perfect. That bamboo story, it's not like you're perfectly watering a plant every day. No, you just got to get up and do it. So get it done. Don't worry about it being perfect. And eventually it'll all work out.
Man, I love this, Darnell. And here's the thing. When I see you today, I'll show you how to add the number of offers on your MLS. That's really, really important. We're not following up to say, hey, Joel, just wanted to follow up. because that conversation could go super flat, right? Darnell, I'm calling you to follow up because some things just happened in the market, and I have to share this information with you because it may change your situation. What is it, Darnell? Tell me more. I need to know. I just want to let you know 127, 129, 128 all just sold in the last 30 days. And check this out. Each of them had multiple offers, and each of them sold between $20,000 and $70,000 over asking price. Let it sink in and then have a communication. It's a better way to follow up, right? So you guys, really good job today. Thank you for all of your contributions. Thanks for being on to our guests. As always, you guys, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision. I'll see a handful of you today for our Hustlers Lunch. I'm excited. It's a new crew. People have never been to Hustlers Lunch, so I'm really, really excited. So I'll see you guys a little bit later in Oakland. But in the meantime, have a great day. Keep it moving. And if you need anything, you know how to find me. Peace.